What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Dan Stephen here for another reaction, and in this reaction we're going to be doing Dave Chappelle's stand-up monologue during I'll do it again.
Saturday Night Live in 2 weeks.
We're gonna be doing Dave Chappelle stand-up opening monologue for SNL. This came out like a few weeks ago, and every week since it came out, we said we're gonna do it, but we just never did.
We tried to do it last week, and I'm like, "Fuck, this is 16 minutes long. Let's not do this."
Yeah, we did the Bill Burr one a few weeks ago, and I was fucking great. Like, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Dave Chappelle has to say on modern, or on like society as a whole in terms of the COVID and shit, because he recently talked about like how everyone is waiting for him to speak about certain events and shit, and he doesn't like that because he's just a celebrity. But when he does speak, he makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so I listen to him as well. I'm not saying I'm fucking gonna
no, but I think because to me, like, he's a comedian. I listen to him for jokes. Like, I don't necessarily listen to Dave Chappelle for his worldview. But then if he gives me his worldview and it's interesting, then yeah, that's fine. But like, I do think it's a bit weird that people are waiting on, like, as he would say, why are you waiting on a comedian to tell you about what you should think about, like, COVID? It's like,
exactly.
I'm here to make you laugh.
I think for me, I'm looking forward to see how he can put a humorous spin on this grim on this grim time that we're in now, especially us in Belfast. If we're going back into the second lockdown now. Yeah. It's only 2-week lockdown, like, but still, these 2 weeks are probably going to last about a month. 2 weeks
is never 2 weeks.
We've been in a semi-lockdown for the last month now, and it's like, oh, we're going on a little 2-week lockdown. It's like, wait, well, we're not in a lockdown already?
Did we ever come out of it, really? If you really think about it, did we ever actually come out of it?
The only difference I can remember is you being in this room for a bit.
For a couple of weeks, and then that was it.
And then I was back to fucking get the fuck out of the house. But then Christmas, we're allowed to mix families for a bit. That's good, I guess, you know, for you and shit, for going on your mum and dad's, because I know you haven't seen your mum and dad in fucking months.
Yeah, I've got it all worked out.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is going to be Dave Chappelle stand-up monologue for SNL.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Chappelle.
Thank you all for being here. Pretty incredible day. I was thinking about a person I never actually met, but I heard about all my life. I was thinking about my great-grandfather, who apparently, by all accounts, was a very great man. He was born a slave in South Carolina, was a slave for 10 years of his life, and when the Northerners came down, they started educating some of the newly freed black children, and he learned how to read. Got enamored with education and dedicated his life to 3 things: education, freedom of black people, Jesus Christ. And I thought about him all day today because I wish I could see him now, and I wish he could see me. This week I flew to New York on a private jet to host Saturday Night Live. Netflix started streaming a show that bears his name, Chappelle Show. And HBO Max is streaming it. And I didn't get paid for any of it. Yeah, if he could see me now, he'd probably be like, this nigga got bought and sold more than I had. And after the results came in, got a text from a friend of mine in London. And she said, the world feels like a safer place now that America has a new president. And I said, well, that's great, but America doesn't. Remember what life was like before COVID? I do. It's a mass shooting every week. Anyone remember that? Thank God for COVID.
Jesus.
Someone had to lock these murderous whites up, keep them in the house. I was shows in Ohio. America was dying. My town was dying. So what I did is I did shows in my neighbor's cornfield. And these shows were very successful. The local farmers, my neighbors, started to complain that my shows were too noisy. In a cornfield. I had to have a whole town meeting about how noisy I was being in the cornfield. It was so embarrassing. And I resented it. I resented that these country farmers could decide a guy like me's fate. People don't deserve to do that. They haven't seen enough. They don't know anything. They probably watch me right now. They're probably like, at home like, honey, come quick, come quick. The guy from the grocery grocery store is on television. No, you big dummy. The guy from television is at the grocery store. Kind of guy that probably has an account on farmersonly.com. You ever heard of that website, farmersonly.com? Website that begs the question, what kind of bitch only smashes with farmers? It's gross. That whole Zoom meeting about me. I didn't talk on the meeting. I was just listening. Man, you should have heard him talking about me. He was saying, man, I'm trying to put my children to bed. And all they hear is the N-word. I said, was I saying it or were you? He had that twang in his voice. You know that twang where you hear that accent like, oh, I know he doesn't wear his mask. I don't know why poor white people don't like wearing masks. What is the problem? Wear a mask at the Klan rally. Wear it to Walmart, too. Get Klan hood at Walmart so we can all feel safe. And state like Ohio, for instance, right? People make more money from their stimulus checks than they do if they work. So a lot of people don't want to work. You know what it reminded me of? Ronald Reagan. Remember what Ronald Reagan used to say about black people? How we were welfare people, drug addicts? Who does that sound like now? This checks, the heroin. And the rest of the country is trying to move forward, and these white niggas keep holding us back. Don't even want to wear your mask because it's oppressive. Try wearing the mask I've been wearing all these years. I can't even tell something true unless it has a punchline behind it. You guys aren't ready. You're not ready for this. You don't know how to survive yourselves. Black people, we're the only ones that know how to survive this. Whites, come, hurry quick. Come get your nigga lessons. When white people and black people couldn't be together, it was just white people alone in the club dancing. You ever see that old footage? How'd they look? This is what they was doing with the body. You need some black eyes to look at you like, stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
Now Trump is gone. You know, I know a lot of people don't like him, but I thought the guy was at least an optimist. I am not as optimistic as he was. I look at it like, there's bad people on both sides.
Oh, shit. Who said that?
All right, just trying him out. Called the coronavirus the Kung Flu. I said, you racist, hilarious son of a bitch. I'm supposed to say that, not you. It's wrong when you say it.
It's wrong.
On a press conference, tried to guess the cure of the coronavirus in front of the whole world. It's a wild thing to do. What about very powerful light directly in the body? This man just suggests that I put sunshine directly in my body. Well, that's insane. He went further. What about some bleach? Some bleach directly in your body. Oh, boy.
Bleach.
Secret Service is going to have to childproof the White House now. He's trying to drink the bleach. Mr. President, don't touch that stove. It's hot. Turn those scissors around if you're going to run around the house like this, Mr. President. One of the leading virologists in the world was sitting as close as you are to me, and she just watched him say it. Crazy. Her face was looking like he might be right. She was saw that. I said, ooh, that's why. That's why. That's why women make half.
Oh,
no. Did I trigger you? I don't know what it is. Half, maybe 70%, whatever it is, it's too much. I'm sorry, Lauren. I thought we were having a comedy show. It's like a woke meeting in here.
It's like a woke meeting.
After all that, you know what he did? You know what Trump did after all that stuff? Went out and got the coronavirus. Wasn't that something? You know, when he got coronavirus, they said everything about it on the news. But you know what they didn't say? That it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Trump getting coronavirus was like when Freddie Mercury got AIDS. Nobody was like, well, how did he get it? This guy was running around like the outbreak monkey. He looked like a 1970s penis, just raw dog and earth. Day after he made fun of Joe Biden's mask. This guy wears the biggest mask I've ever seen, which is a ridiculous thing. Joe Biden's mask wasn't any bigger than anybody else's mask, Mr. President. Lucky for the rest of the country, though, he had a good health care plan, didn't he? Some good coverage. Helicopter picked him up. In his front yard, helicopter came. Remember that video where he was walking to the helicopter all by himself? No one to be around. Usually he's walking to the helicopter with a bunch of people. No one's around him this time because, you know, he had the Rona. Had his mask on then, didn't he? He was walking over. Helicopter took him to Walter Reed Hospital. I'm from D.C., and I got to tell you, Walter Reed is not close to the White House, but you can walk. Team of doctors was waiting for him. All the doctors came around and gave him experimental medicine and stuff, and flew him back home in a helicopter. And then he walked right up the steps. You ever see this video? He took his mask off, saluted the helicopter, and then walked right in the house, killed 4 more people. I said $700.50 in taxes goes a long way, doesn't it, sir? Man. Some cold stuff. That would be like me going to a homeless shelter with a bag full of hamburgers and saying, "These is mine." And then just start eating in front of all the homeless. Hunger dictates your life. Meanwhile, Christie's fat ass was in the ICU fighting for his life. Christie got all the fixings. Everything coronavirus likes to eat, that's what's in Christie's body. Check. Asthma, check. Diabetes, check. Coronavirus is like, Herman Cain's black ass had been dead for 2 weeks. Where was his secret serum? That's your leader. Think about that. For 4 years, that's your leader. What kind of man does that? A white man. And I don't mean to put this on the whites, but I've been black a long time. I've noticed the pattern. But if you're a good white, you actually want to help, join me. I'm not even joking. It's my plan. It's called the Kindness Conspiracy. Random acts of kindness for black people. Something nice for a black person just because they're black. And you got to make sure they don't deserve it. That's a very important part of it. They can't deserve it. The same way all them years they did terrible things to black people just because they're black, and they didn't deserve it. Driving through the hood one day and you see a black dude standing on a corner selling crack, destroying his community, buy him an ice cream. Just buy him some ice cream. He'll be suspicious, but he'll take it.
He'll be suspicious, but he'll take it.
I would implore everybody who's celebrating the day to remember it's good to be a humble winner. Remember when I was here 4 years ago? Remember how bad that felt? Remember that half the country right now still feels that way. Please remember that. Remember that for the first time in the history of America, the life expectancy of white people is dropping. Heroin, because of suicide, all these white people out there that feel that anguish, that pain, that mad because they think nobody cares, and maybe they don't. Let me tell you something. I know how that feels. If you're a police officer, and every time you put your uniform on, you feel like you got a target on your back. You're appalled by the ingratitude that people have when you would risk your life to save them. Oh, man, believe me. Believe me. I know how that feels. Everyone knows how that feels. But here's the difference between me and you. You guys hate each other for that. I don't hate anybody. I just hate that feeling. That's what I fight through. That's what I suggest you fight through. You gotta find a way to live your life. You gotta find a way to forgive each other. You gotta find a way to find joy in your existence in spite of that feeling. And if you can't do that, come get these nigga lessons. Thank you very much, and good night.
Okay, it didn't feel that long.
Didn't that? No.
No,
16,
no.
Almost, 16 minutes longer.
It's weird because Saturday Night Live I always kind of associate with like you have to play real safe comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think once you get people like Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle, you can't fucking tell them what to say and what not to say. You know, you're giving him the free roaming of his set. You're getting the 15 minutes of Dave Chappelle uncensored. You know what I mean? I'm sure he probably isn't as fucking out there as he probably wants to be on his own show, but I'm sure he's still himself. He's not going to be fucking censored. Yeah. You know, Saturday Night Live is big, but Dave Chappelle's bigger.
It's bigger, yeah. What's strange? Dave Chappelle, I don't know what it is because I always obviously knew who he was, but only looking at the stuff now, I'm only realizing just how big Dave Chappelle actually is. I don't know. It kind of to me it feels like fuck. He's like the biggest comedian in the world. Yeah. But like even a few short years ago, I wouldn't even have considered that.
Well, I think what happened, I don't know, do you know the actual story of Dave Chappelle? Obviously, he came up as a comedian and shit, and he started doing his Dave Chappelle show. I don't know what it was on HBO or some shit like that in America. And basically, it was the biggest show in America, and he left it. He basically walked out. I think he walked out on set and never did a show again because of the politics surrounding the show. He points out like a lot of different events or situations that happened, but one of them was basically he told a joke. It was meant to be almost like a racist joke, but the idea was that you're making fun of the racist, not the actual racism. Mm-hmm. But basically, he said like, everyone laughed at the racism rather than the racist, and he said he didn't like the way it sat with him. So he basically walked away. Obviously, when you're on a TV show like that, there's so much fucking gay lines and shit and boxes they try to put you, especially back in the day when Dave Chappelle was just a big comedian. Now he's fucking like world renowned, and he left. I think he moved to Africa. He moved to Africa for I don't know how long a period of time anyway. So he basically ran away and left it all. So that's why I remember that happening. I remember my brothers showing me clips of the Dave Chappelle show and going, I'm like, oh, anymore? He goes, no, he left. He basically walked away. He lives in Africa now. So I don't know how long he was there for, but he was there for a period of time. So we basically, and once he came back, I think he got sued because when you sign a contract with a TV show, you fulfill that, and he didn't. So he basically got sued for millions and millions of pounds. And again, he basically came back. He's like, it's not like you can come back and just be the big comedian again. Like you can come back and be a small time and no one wants you again. But luckily, Dave Chappelle is so talented that he basically just grew again from down to the bottom again, started doing shows, started doing specials. And people realize, people want to hear what he has to say. And that's why I said before this came on, like I want to hear what he has to say. I'm not sitting there waiting for Dave Chappelle to tell me how to feel or what to do, what's right. Is BLM right? Is BLM good? No, I'm not waiting for that there. I know how I feel, but I want to see his interpretation of what's going on in society. And I forgot this obviously came out the day after Joe Biden won the election. So I think that's obviously it was a big event as well. But I know he's just a fucking he's a great comedian, but he's a great social speaker as well.
Yeah, you never know where he's going with his jokes. You're kind of say he builds something up real serious, and then he'll start joking about it. And then you have to just realize, like, I think within that monologue, he obviously has feelings and he obviously has views, but he's also just not afraid just to take the piss out of anything. Exactly. Yeah. And I like that. Like even the crowd, because the crowd was kind of like whenever he said about Joe Biden or Trump's gone, the crowd started cheering, and I kind of felt like Dave Chappelle was going, you know what, like this isn't just like a woke show. He basically said that. It's like I'm going to slag you too. You know what I mean? He's just kind of like expecting us. He didn't really he slagged Trump the way anyone slags Trump. You know what I mean? Like Trump's an easy target. Like he's comedy gold. Yeah. But like he's still. And he
says that
he's like he's Trump saying things I should be saying.
That's a funny joke. Like I should say that instead.
But yeah, no, I do like that.
And that's what I love about Dave Chappelle. Like Dave Chappelle is like he's always like neutral in this sort of like whatever political claim is going on. Like he always seems to have his own beliefs, regardless if it's left or right, Democrat or Republican or whatever, and all that shit. But again, he's just saying like he points to the fact that like all this high white people are feeling right now. A lot of white people who voted Trump and all too. Like I mean, like this is the way that black people were felt. You know what I mean? And the idea of us giving something back to the black community, a black person, because they don't deserve it. They all laughed. Then he goes, well, they were lynched, they were murdered, they were treated like second class citizens, and they didn't deserve it then. So why not give them something good or be positive towards them when they don't deserve it? Why is it always needs to be they need to deserve it to get some sort of benefit? But when you were lynching them, when you're treating them like second class citizens and stuff, they didn't deserve it then. So it's like
I also like that
he flips that
like he
over.
was saying like, you know, not to be like be humble. Do you know what I mean? Like if you feel like you've won, which I don't really know the ins and outs of like how people feel, but like if you feel like you won, then like don't like even him. He's not laughing at people who lost. You know what I mean? He's like, I try to understand, and like he's like, I don't hate anyone. You know what I mean? I was like, I like that. It's like that's positive.
That's why you should be. I think we talked about it before. I know we're speaking about a country we're not from. We're obviously Irish and shit. Should we have no affiliation with sort of any sort of political party in America? But we do talk about it a lot because it is in the news a lot. With the way Trump, what Trump is doing is such a negative impact in the future. He's obviously a narcissist. We don't give a fuck about anyone else. He's cares about himself because he's creating this. There's obviously a divide in America, and it's been there for years and years and years. Like obviously, they put it down to Democrats and Republicans, but this divide's been there for a lot longer, not there. But you got to remember, like Joe Biden, regardless if he's a Democrat, he's a Democratic president. He's a president of the people. He's a president of all the Republicans as well. He needs to make policies that suits everyone, not just a few for the many. You know what I mean? And that's the idea of like when you pass over the mantle from president to president. You've seen it under Obama, which I'm not a fan of, but when he did it, he did it with dignity and respect. He passed it over to Trump to be like, hey, well, regardless, I don't like you, don't like your policies, don't like your ideas, but you gotta we gotta create an aspect of unity, and that's what
you also seen it when it was
doing.
passed. It was passed to Obama. I can't remember his name.
Bush.
It was done. It was done well. Like there's the handoff speech is usually done quite well, but obviously Trump's not really playing ball yet.
Exactly, and that's just going to create this more of a divide. And talking about like the election being fixed, like come on, like this is just childish because he doesn't care. Because as long as he can say in 5-10 years time, people talk about them about this, he's like, well, I didn't lose the election. Like it's just a narcissistic viewpoint.
Very similar to. In fairness, like I know it's very similar to Hillary Clinton. Like she's adamant she never lost the election.
But she didn't lose the election.
Even now, I know, but even now, she still says.
I don't think it was anything like that. To be fair.
No, I do. Like if you you watch a Hillary Clinton interview from even a couple of weeks ago, she's still adamant that
she did win.
Won that election.
Yeah, she did though. That's the idea. She did win the election. She won the popular vote. I think that's what she's on about. Yeah. I'm not defending Hillary Clinton. You know, I hate Hillary, but you know what I mean. But that's why I don't get in America. Like, at least she can say, "Oh, I did win it."
But she also has an ego. Is what I'm trying to say. She also has an ego. Same as Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want to be remembered as. I don't want to be remembered as the person who lost. I'm still going to reinforce that I won, and Trump's doing the same thing.
Yeah, but Trump. No, I get you. I just think there's something slightly different because I don't get the whole electoral college vote in America. If you win a popular vote, that's real democracy. You know what I mean?
Don't understand it.
Yeah,
don't understand it.
But
all I know is that Biden won, Trump lost.
Yeah.
That's it.
But yeah, Dave Chappelle fucking just blows me away every time, and that's why I want to hear what he got to say. I always want to see how he can make this grim outlook positive or funny. Now, even if he did the Freddie Mercury joke. People are like, oh, but it's like wait for the joke, wait for it. People you automatically reacted before you heard what he had to say. He wasn't making fun of fucking Freddie Mercury getting AIDS. He was making fun of no one questioning when he got AIDS.
Yeah.
Same as Trump. No one questioned how did he get COVID. Everyone knew because he didn't wear a mask and he fucking was like socializing with everyone. It's like, all right, there you go. Yeah. Relax, calm down, wait till the joke comes, the punchline, then react to it. Don't fucking automatically get your fucking phone out and start tweeting about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, that was our reaction to Dave Chappelle's open monologue for Saturday Night Live. Yeah, let us know what you think of the monologue, our reactions in the comments below. All right. Cheers.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Just to let you know, we've got similar content available on the channel if you want to check it out.
We also do our own podcast called MCPodcasting, where we cover a range of topics from politics, sports and even movies.
We basically just talk a lot of shit.
We argue a lot as well on it there, but all the links are below. We're on all major platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and is there any other?
That's the main ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's the main ones.
Just check out the podcast, and if there's any sort of videos you want us to react to, drop us a comment on the YouTube videos, and we'll be sure to check it out.
Oh, if you want to make fun of us, then go ahead. We don't care.
Be nice.
Be nice.
In fairness, we don't really get that many comments.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me.
Okay.